Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
Is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 3rd of November 2021, and the time now is 6:17 a.m. Well, today is our biweekly review, and the topic in my list, there are two, and the first one is um, the topic talk about imagine that we are 110 years old, and then we have a chance to go back to our 25 years old. Yep, and the second one is the yesterday topic, which is um, the how to live longer. Yep. So how about you?
I have only one topic, which is
Yeah.
each like
Can you repeat? There is some bad connection. I couldn't hear it.
I have only one topic to make a review, and
Mm.
which is easier than the take.
Um, I still couldn't hear it. Sorry. Just the name of the
Hello,
topic.
easier than the take.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. All right. So before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. So here we go. Okay, so how about I start my sharing first? Yeah. Hello.
And
Oh, okay. Yep. So the first is about the yesterday topic, and then which is only a small part, and then because it seems like there is a conclusion yesterday, which is uh the sharing from you, which is also from the book, right? Uh, Control and social participation are two of the keys that can affect our longevity. And then for the social participation, um, yeah, the, the I think the meaning for this one could be like maybe whether you involve in the activities that interact with people in the society. So yeah, I think so for this one maybe it talk about your social circle and yeah because yeah, that is the book. I think I'm not sure whether it is going into detail, uh, but I think there is one thing also very important, which is deal with the interpersonal skill, uh, interpersonal communication skill. And because social participation is like you involve, but to me I feel like how you deal with other people, how you interact with other people is also very important. And instead of looking at the numbers of your maybe your friends or the numbers of people that you interact with. And I think interpersonal communication skill is quite important. And maybe this affect how you feel when dealing with people. So, and also this is something lifelong. Yeah, because for human, we all deal with people every day, and then until we die. So I think this is also something uh, can be focused. Yep. So this is for the yesterday topic, just a little bit. And yeah, so shall I go to the next one, next topic?
yeah, I would like to comment social participation. Yeah, because
Okay.
I didn't read the book, and yeah, interpersonal skill is also important. And but there's two things. The first thing is social participation is not only about your friends,
Mm,
friend circle, and also like uh, how well you be with the uh, your family member. Yeah, it's part, all of these things is part of the social participation, but it's not. But it's not all. Yeah,
mm,
and yesterday I give some example. I also share some statistic research, and for example, that like the environment did matter, and whether environment, whether the country or the area is trustful or
Mm.
trustless, yeah, or something like there's a mistrust in the society. People don't trust each other. Yeah, this
Mm.
is also one of the indicator about the social participation. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
The author mentioned the whole, which is standing, looking the whole society more than looking for the individual's friend circle. I would say in the book, he mentioned the whole society more than uh, the individual friends circle. But it is still matter. Just like uh, just like one of the impressive statistic, which is
Mm.
marriage marriage person have lower mortality rates than marriage person. Yeah, so it still matter. Yeah, but what the individual do. Uh, yeah, of course we can change, but this is not something that we can fully can 100% change by us. Hmm. I'm not sure whether you understand what I'm trying to say.
Do
Sometimes
you, yeah, yeah.
depend on the moment. And what you need to do is maybe you need to move to another country or move to another area. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the whole society, the participation rate in the whole
Mm.
society, not just about you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So it means that sometimes we could be like the reality should be subjective and uh, y- for us maybe when we do it it is not the case, right?
What do you mean subjective? Not the case?
Yeah, because like just how you say in the book, it focus on it focus more on the society as a whole,
Mm.
and yeah, I think this way is like um to trying to trying to minimize the subjectivity, uh, which is like uh, the average, something like that. Take the average, is it? So that
Mm.
it can represent um, it can be representative, but when talking to individual, maybe it is not 100% we can get it for the result we want.
Uh,
For example, the marriage one, it says that marriage person versus unmarried person, and uh, according to maybe the big data, um, married person has longer longevity, but this is taking the average, right? But
mm.
when it comes to the individual, maybe that was in your case, maybe like you get married but you die before somebody else, maybe is your relative who are unmarried.
Yeah, this is also true, but this is another perspective. This is not what I'm talking. Yeah, this is also true. You cannot reach the potential because it is taking average. You may underperform than the average. You may overperform than the average. But this is another perspective. What I'm saying is, there is something that you couldn't do without changing your environment. So, for
Mm,
example, say you live in Johor Bahru,
yeah.
okay, and then what is the social participation rate in Johor Bahru? Is it something that you can increase? You can increase the trust in the society. This is too big
Oh.
for you. Yeah. So this
Mm-mm.
is something that I'm
Yeah,
trying.
got it.
Yeah. And yeah, of course you can do something. For example, you can make new friends and enlarge your friend circle, and form a very intimate relationship
Yeah.
uh with your partner and also with your best friend and with your student, all that. Yeah. But this is something that you can do. But how about other thing you can't do, which is
Mm.
trust in the society? For example,
Yeah.
I give you one example, which is recently I feel in Malaysia there is less there is some degree of lack of trust, which is um if you look at if you look at all the house if you look at all the house, mm, you realize that all the house, especially landed house, they will install the what is it called, uh the window protections still, something like that.
Yeah.
uh
Is it like
I'm not
something
sure
like
what
grill?
exactly it's called. What?
Uh, grilled, but I forgot the pronunciation. Grill. It is like the grill. G R
uh
I L L E.
yeah, right, yeah, yeah, the grill, yeah. And you can realize that every household they'll install the grill.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you're thinking from an economic perspective, you realize that why they want to install the grill, because they want to prevent the theft.
Mm.
Mm. And but in order to prevent the theft, every household need to install the grill. What a waste, right? Yeah,
Yep.
it actually is a very wasteful thing. And yeah, so this is one of the example. And if you look at Singapore, yeah, uh, yeah, of course, one of the reason is because uh, in Singapore, most of the house is not landed house, so you see, uh, not many people install the grill, because
Mm.
they live in the high level. Yeah, they live in the building which is high level, so they don't need to prevent the theft, because of
Yep.
flight. And but yeah,
Mm.
this is also another reasons. Yeah, but if you look at the whole society, and you found that in Singapore society trust more other people. Yeah, and trust more each other, and they believe that other people won't like uh steal their things,
Mm.
and uh or have any like the rob, yeah, rob their thing.
Yeah.
And one of the reason is uh some of the business, for example like the retail and like the restaurant, and they order the product, they order the ingredients from the supplier, and the supplier deliver the product, for example egg, vegetable, meat, and to the restaurant. But
Mm.
normally it done in the early morning, and then they put outside. Yeah, they just put outside, maybe on the floor, or maybe on uh, the table of the restaurant.
Mm.
Yeah, and nobody will steal it. Yeah,
Mm.
they just put
Yeah.
there. And if you put the same scenario in Johor Bahru, Malaysia, yeah, people will stand by, stand
Mm.
by, and once a supplier uh, put the grocery, put the ingredient, and they will take it and run. Yeah, so this is something that you cannot done in Malaysia, but you can done in Singapore. So
Mm.
this is a trust. and and also uh yeah, like in Singapore, we go into we we go to the bus. Okay, when we take bus, and we will scan using our card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, of course the driver will kind of like look at it. Yeah, but yeah, most of people will automatically scan the card. Yeah, of course, it is a habit already becoming. Yeah, it already become a habit. And
Mm.
yeah, and but you cannot underestimate the power of a habit that formed by a society. Yeah, which is a social habit that can change the whole society.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, yeah, in Singapore, people can do jogging. Yeah, can go out, jogging, have a walk in the midnight. How about in Malaysia? Mm.
Hmm.
And in Singapore, uh, we can holding a phone all the time, holding a phone on our hand all the time, and we don't need to worry about whether people will rob our phones,
Mm.
uh, like do something uh, that they can uh, bad for us. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we also uh, less concerned about the street walker that bypasses. Yeah, or kind of like keep following us. Yeah, uh, uh, yeah, and we don't worry about that, and
Mm.
we we will just assume we will just assume this is on the same direction. Yeah, me and I are walking on the same direction. Yeah, but
Yep.
how about in Malaysia? This is different story.
Mm.
Mm.
Yep. Even you
So,
carry a bag and you worry that if you just hang on your shoulder, you will get robbed.
yeah,
You need to like use your two of your hands and keep it in front of you
mm,
in your eyesight.
yeah. So this is an example, which is I found that Malaysia
Mm.
have lesser trust, have lower social participation rate than
Mm.
Singapore. Mm.
Mm.
So is this something that you can do in Malaysia for individual? No. Yeah, this is an
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I got it. It is like a bigger picture. Um, even you can change, but how about the environment around you, right? But we
Mm.
can like move ourselves, right?
Yeah, you can move.
Mm.
Yeah, you can move to another area or another country. Maybe Malaysia. Maybe you move to KL. Maybe you move to Penang, which
Mm.
is a bigger city,
Yep.
higher security.
Mm.
For the people are there, uh, less. I mean, there are less robbers or there are
Mm.
less like the theft in that area.
Yep.
Mm, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But if you look at the KL and also in Penang, now Penang I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Actually, KL I also don't know. You look at the landed house, whether they install the view. I
Mm.
think yes. The answer I
Yep.
think is. But in Singapore, you can uh you can skip the step. Yeah, you don't need to do that. Yeah,
Mm.
because in Malaysia, if somebody uh uh break your window, break your glass window, and then come in and steal something, and you hardly find them, you hardly catch them. The police hardly catch them. But in
Mm.
Singapore, everywhere have CCTV.
Yep.
So this is something that uh the risk of being catched when you carry the crime is much higher. Yeah, it's
Mm.
higher enough that everyone will follow the law.
Yep.
Mm, yeah.
Mm.
So this is the first point. And how about the second point? Uh, uh, okay. The second point is if you if you talk about the interpersonal skill, how about the salesman? Why they are not uh in the rank in the top rank in the social gradient? Yeah, based on the
Mm.
occupation, uh, the whole category, which is a salesman, still
Yeah.
didn't outperform like the government officer and also like uh maybe entrepreneur, maybe like director,
Mm.
managing director or CEO. Yeah, all these executive. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Is it because control, the other element?
Maybe Yeah, maybe. So social participation rate is not the only indicator.
Mm.
Mm. And
Yep.
also, uh, so besides social participation, there is control. And also inside the social participation, interpersonal skill is also part of it. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
this was the point. Mm.
oh yeah. And yeah, suddenly I remember something which I watched on TV in Singapore, which I think is an action they would like to um, cultivate trust between humans. And then that was in a school. I think that is I forgot is the primary school or the secondary school. There is a cafe, and there is a cafe in the school, and there is no staff in the cafe. And then that cafe is selling something from the ATM, maybe is something the food they already prepare and put on the desk, or maybe something that it is like the packaged food, or maybe the beverage drinks in a package. So you can just take it and then you put your money on the maybe into a box, something like that, and then there won't be anyone to govern the store. And
Mm.
then what's interesting is that once you put in the money, and then actually they can calculate maybe like automatically, and then they will show the deficit of the day. Let's say today we sell $100 and we collect like $95, so the deficit is $5. So and then the purpose of this is to like I think is to cultivate the trust.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm. Yep. So I think this is also something I heard from elsewhere, which some other countries like Japan, some of the markets also do like this, and then they have a maybe like a pot which people put money, and then they take the vegetables, and the storekeeper isn't there.
Mm. Yeah. And when talk about Japan, Japan uh, is a country that have highest uh, average life expectancy.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Even though we may not know whether this is the real cause and effect, but this is one of it, right? One of
Mm.
it that can contribute to that.
Yeah.
All right, and then shall I go to the next topic?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, the next topic is the 110 years old, and then we go back to 25 years old. And I remember that that day I said that we shouldn't feel regret, and I seems like treat regret as a bad things. And yeah, after that I feel like regret is actually something that uh, must happen, and it's something also good. It depends on how you look at it. For example, regret is because you found that if you make the other if you choose the other options in the past, and then it seems like would be better off. So um, this kind of feelings is because maybe you make a mistake, uh, uh, and then so this is a way that we can learn from mistake. So I think this is like a cue, like a signal for us to acknowledge our weaknesses, and then it is for the maybe for the reflection, and then for the purpose of improve ourselves in the future. And this is the first one, learning from the mistake is the purpose for regret. And the second one is that the regret maybe can signal what we really want. Yeah, because we regret maybe is something that we feel like, oh, this is not something we want. So the feeling of regret maybe can help us to to direct, and then so that we can slowly maybe move to the direction of what we are pursuing. And yeah, so this is one part I would like to amend, because that day I say regret is something we shouldn't have. And so I think the attitude is to embrace it, and not having too much negative emotion on regret, but we actually make use of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing I would like to talk about is because I feel like uh on that day um I feel like your sharing is is really good. And most of the things that you say is not like uh, it's not like something, for example, which stock to choose. And however, the things that you share is more like a truth. And then it's more like uh, an awareness or a lesson. It's not a particular thing. And then also you also mentioned that we tell them something, and then we we shouldn't tell them that this is something you must experience, and this is something that will happen to you after how many years. And we should tell them like giving them a piece of information. And so this make me feel like actually it's quite similar to maybe an old guys, and then share you his life experience. And the old guy is not the 110 years old self of you. That is another guy. So I feel like maybe if we really have the chance to go back to the 25 years old self when we were 110 years old, maybe I wouldn't tell him that the I was the 110 years old self. I just yeah, maybe just like giving some advice to other people, other young people. Yeah, the I think um the the purpose will be quite similar.
Mm.
Yeah. And the reason of this is if we tell them that we are the self, we are actually themselves, but is 110 years old. So how about maybe in the future, maybe this 25 years old self encounters some challenges, or maybe deal with some difficulties in the life. And then maybe he still hope that this 110 years old guy will come back again, or help him to have this kind of expectation. So yeah, I think maybe I wouldn't tell him the truth. I just like uh, being somebody else, and then giving him some advices, or maybe sharing him some of my own experience. Yeah.
Mm.
And then this will meet the purpose that we want, because we want them to know that um, their life, their destiny will not be the same as us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the thing uh, one of thing I think I could add in is
Mm.
mm, yeah, sometimes you realize that when you're thinking that what advice you can give to your 25 years old self, and
Mm.
you found that all the thing you talk, all the thing you share, all the thing you advise is something like is a big wisdom, yeah, and something that it can apply for decades. And for example, and and also, yeah, and also something that you may already know, but you still haven't do that, you still haven't did that, yeah, because of some other reason. For
Mm.
example, let's say you say about the investments, yeah, uh I won't I won't recommend a specific ticker, for example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tesla, all that. But instead of doing that, I will say, yeah, in future, cryptocurrency is the key because uh, everyone's we don't have cash anymore. Yeah, yeah, of course, maybe central bank also have their digital currency. Yeah,
Mm.
so this is a whole industry. Bitcoin may fail, but other crypto may successful. Yeah, and I also talk about like the AR/VR. Mm. And actually, yeah, this is also the directions and uh one one of the information I get from elsewhere is actually most of the tech firm, most of the big tech firms, and they put a lot of resources in bet in this direction, which is the metaverse, the AR/VR technology. Yeah,
Mm.
so it must be the future. Because they already invest so much money, and not only one big tech firm invest in this direction, but all yeah, all the big tech firm invest in this direction. So
Mm.
sometimes you realize that something that you advise to your 25 years old self is something that you already know, but you still haven't started to action. But it is actually quite obvious. This is a trend. Yeah, it's a trend. But you
Mm.
still can't can't really take action to try to take advantage of it. For example, self-driving car. Mm, yeah, self-driving car and the whole the whole industry, transportation industry is, and also the whole like the on the route. I would say like kind of like on the route industry because it includes transportation. It includes the car. It can also include the bus. Mm,
Mm.
yeah. So yeah, the whole on the route industry is going to be uh rev revolute uh ties. Yeah. So this is something that a trend, and we actually already can foresee it. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yes, and also some other thing I mentioned in that day also like the war. Okay, it also could happen. Yeah, and because we see some trend. Yeah. So yeah, because you are not 100 years old. Yeah, you still are 25 years old. You still are 26 years old. So
Mm.
by acting like you are 110 years old and share and advise something to yourself, it's actually is kind of like to to take out some idea, to take out some actually high probability event that will occur in futures. Yeah. So maybe we should take note. Maybe we should aware that something that we share out, why we still haven't react, why we still haven't take action. For example, we think an industry is going to be very very successful, is going to be very very big. For example, AR/VR, for example, self-driving car, the autonomous car,
Mm.
and yeah, and we can choose to buy the company stock, right? And
Yeah.
um, you may not able to spot the only one, but you can buy the whole industry. And you may not able to spot the timing, but you can do the low cost averaging. Yeah, so it actually come back to a point that I made in previous conversation in regarding the investment. Actually, investment is something like initially you see the thing, you see the mountain is mountain, and the next stage is you see the mountain no longer mountain. Yeah,
Mm.
and the final stage is you see the mountain still is the mountain. So from the first stage is very easy, and go to the next stage is kind of like a bit difficult. You
Mm.
you lose uh you lose the direction, and the final stage is uh you you found the right direction. Yeah, and the right direction is the same direction you initially uh to work on. Mm.
Mm. Yeah. Yep.
So what okay, to summary, what I'm trying to say is this is a topic that can bring out the awareness, which is something that we think high probability will occur in future, and it can give us the awareness why we think like that, but we still didn't respond to it. Mm.
Mm. Yep. Yeah. Right. So yeah, these are my sharings today.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. My sharing is about the easier done than said,
Mm.
and yeah, and okay. In that conversation, I think you and me actually uh make one bias, which is uh we kind of like try to find the action. Why is the action is very uh easy to do, so we will have easier done than said. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And but after the conversation, I keep thinking, yeah, maybe we can think another way around. We can change the perspective. Instead of finding the action is very easy,
Yeah.
instead of finding the action is very easy, we can focus on the said. We can focus when the said is difficult. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And it seems like the bullshit, because because if you look at the statement, one side is you find the done is easier than said, and another side you look at the said is more difficult than done. Yeah,
Mm.
it seems like the bullshit, but it's actually not. This is a change of perspective. The first is you focus on the action. You're trying to find the action is very easy to be done. And another is you're trying to focus on the said. You focus on the talking. You're trying to find a situation, the circumstance when talking is very difficult.
Mm.
Yeah. And after I shift my perspective,
Yeah.
okay, I found that yeah, instead of focusing on doing is easy, and then to find an example, I can focus on when saying is extremely difficult. Yeah, and I have three examples. The
Mm.
first is voice out your love. Yeah, voice out your love to your family member, your
Mm.
partner, your friends. Yeah, so
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
difficult. Mm. So easier done than said, because we may do a lot of things to them, and without their conscience. We may let's say like prepare a meal for them, and like uh, uh, help them do some research, and hope they become better,
Mm.
and yeah, and all that thing. Mm.
Yeah.
And for example, family member, we may give we may give our old parents an allowance, money allowance, and we hope they can live well.
Mm.
They can retire well and don't need to worry about money. Mm.
Yeah.
So this is the action. But how about the say? You didn't voice out your love. And in the society, in the whole country, and in the whole world, uh, especially in the Asian country, and yeah, this is really a thing which is easier done than said.
Mm. Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, and the second is praise or give compliments to other people. For
Mm.
example, your subordinate. For example, to your friend. to your family member, to your partner. Yeah, this is also quite difficult. And when somebody do something really great, and you truly believe, yeah, this is amazing, this is fantastic, but you didn't speak out. Yeah, you just keep it in mind. You didn't do anything. Yeah, but it's powerful, right? If you give compliment to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is also the second thing which is easier done than say. And the third one is tell what you feel on other people's behavior. And this is not something like uh you tell you talk to a third party, you complain your other friends. Yeah. It's not something like that. I mean, this is face to face. Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, when somebody did something wrong or did something you you feel not comfortable, tell what you feel on their behavior. This is also difficult to do because
Yeah.
you worry maybe by saying out it can break the relationship or something like that. Yeah. And in order to, yeah, and also if you really want to say out, you need to choose the terms, you need to choose the sentence, you need to pick, yeah, pick the correct uh vocab and also correct uh,
Timing.
voice and also timing. Yeah. And also choose the correct body language. Yeah. And yeah, to say, to tell them the thing. So this is also difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my sharing.
Yeah. Yeah. This is yeah, kind of like uh um I couldn't think of at that time. And then but for me, among these three, I think the second one maybe is the easiest among these three,
Mm,
and which is the praise.
mm,
Yeah. And how about you think saying sorry, apologize? Sometimes it's also difficult, right?
mm, I would say difficult to admit your mistake. I won't say difficult to say sorry because
Oh.
uh, one of the reason is uh, yeah, it's also one of information I'm not sure where I get from.
Mm.
Uh, I think it's from a book and also it's from a video, which is if you want to say sorry, if you want to say sorry, you really need to take action. You need to take actions to apologize. You couldn't like just say sorry. And this is the first thing. And second thing,
Mm.
many people when they say sorry, yeah, you didn't take action, you say sorry. Okay, and it's still okay. But many people what they do, they say sorry and then they give an excuse. They first tell you, yeah, I apologize to you, and I do this because of blah blah blah.
Mm.
So they give an excuse, and actually this is something that you shouldn't do.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's not a sincere apologize, right?
yeah. And
Apology.
what you need to do is, yeah, I very feel sorry about that. Mm, I did something uh really wrong to you. Yeah, yeah. I didn't aware that. Yeah, so now I aware that I must apologize to you.
Mm.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you don't need any excuse. You don't need any explanation. And
Yeah.
yeah, after you say out the apologize, after you say out the sorry, go back to the first thing, which is do action. Try to like kind of like recover the losses. Yeah, recover the losses that you uh and also recover uh the losses due to the inconvenience you done on other people. You did on other people. Yeah, how to make them better off again. How to compensate them.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because many people will just say sorry. They won't think like they already take advantage of other people and they didn't compensate them. And when the next time they still did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's still the thing under easier said than done.
Mm. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Okay, nothing to add, right?
Mm. Right.
Okay. So that's all for our today conversations. Please tell us what you think on our conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake that we made, please also comment to let us know because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to learn subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.